This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling, and it is really awesome, I gotta say, to be here and be able to do what we do. I was just thinking about it earlier. It's really awesome. Someone said that we set a record for viewership earlier on one of the channels, which is really awesome. So I thought that's cool. What do you think, Jay?
Hey, that's amazing, man. It really is, to think that we have people that actually hear what we want to say, Jack. I mean, I'm thrilled. I couldn't be more thrilled. I never thought anybody want to hear me, Jack.
I know. And then here you are. People pretend to listen to you, Jay. Here we are. No.
Hey, you guys are awesome, man. You guys really are.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate it. That is so cool. I mean, the episode with Annika Lucas last time was very very important, and I'm glad that so many people watched it. It was it was a very heavily watched on all of the platforms, actually. The most watched episode we've ever had, which is weird, because we've had Dinesh D'Souza, Roger Stone, Mike Benz, Tim Burchett. We've had all these people, but this was the most watched episode we've ever had. So that's awesome. I think that's great. And we're hoping to actually have somebody else later this week who has a story to go along with Annika Lucas's story. And that is a story that will blow your mind. So we'll talk about it as soon as we nail down a time and a day. It's going to be sometime this week, though, I'm pretty sure. So, Jay, real quick, actually, I wanted to go ahead and start, but I want to show this to everybody real quick. Be sure to follow us. Make sure you follow and subscribe on X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram, TikTok. It's all Secret America TV. All the Secret America TV is the screen name for every single social media site. So you can follow us on all of those and watch live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check that out because that is really cool. So anyways, Jay, we have something here that is going to blow people's minds. Okay, so I found proof of a civilian from Israel who knew the exact day and time that the U.S. was going to strike Iran. I'm talking the exact day and the exact time. And they posted it beforehand. The day, time, and the city, the location. It's mind-boggling.
All right.
I don't know how this person even knows this kind of information.
I don't either. If somebody did that in this country, that would be treason.
Yeah, it was crazy because they actually, believe it or not, that's kind of warning the enemy. But now now most people's not going to take that post seriously before it happens. It's just some random person. They're not going to take it seriously and say, hey, this person said. But after the fact, it's pretty damn suspicious. I'll tell you that much.
Damn right. Where are they getting their information from?
Exactly. Now, we're going to show it in a little while. But first, I want to say, have you seen Jim Carrey lately? People are bug the shit out of me. Okay? They show this photo of Jim Carrey. All right, did you see the video of Jim Carrey where, he looks like a Muppet or something?
Yes.
He's got the big cheeks and the different color eyes and this and that.
Yeah.
For everybody out there, that is Jim Carrey now. I'm sorry. Please stop saying that it's a conspiracy, that he's wearing a mask, this or that. It is Jim Carrey. It is not this Alexis Stone person who is literally just trying to get clout by going viral and make everybody think that Jim Carrey was wearing a mask. It was Jim Carrey.
Jack, it's kind of ingenious when you think about it.
It was smart by the mask person. It was brilliant. Brilliant advertising, free advertising the whole way.
Yep.
But it was definitely Jim Carrey. First of all, his publicist and the venue both confirmed it was him. Second, if you look at the pictures side by side, you can see that it's just Jim Carrey with Botox. That's all it is. It is Jim Carrey, but with Botox. And he said his color was because of the color contacts. He actually took them out later, and you can see his brown eyes later on that day. It is Jim Carrey, guys. Please stop with the conspiracy about every single thing because it's making us look bad. Okay. I mean, honestly, and Dr. Clown here is right. I lost my faith in humanity when I saw so many people saying he was a clone or someone wearing a mask. That is the dumbest fucking conspiracy ever. There isn't even a point behind it. Why would they do that? It is now easier to believe it's a clone than to believe in Botox, Jay.
Well, first of all, Jim Carrey, save some Botox for the rest of us because I think you used it all. I don't think there's any left, but it's a little too much. But the only reason why this kind of got, I think, any traction at all is because of Jim Carrey going out there in the past and doing the Illuminati symbol on these late night talk shows.
Yeah,
and people saying he was maybe being a little too honest and he was saying maybe a little too much, and they had to take him out.
His appearance was very shocking. It was shocking.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, save some Botox for the rest of us. Now, I don't use Botox yet, but Jim, I think Botox, the price just went up like tenfold, Jack, because there's none left.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I love the way some people put this. There's a guy named @FreddyInSpace, John Squires, and he said the mainstreaming of complete and total insanity has been a strange thing to watch in recent years. We now require news reports to confirm that clearly Jim Carrey is clearly Jim Carrey and not a clone or an alien or a reptile in a human skin suit.
Well, listen, what I did is I looked at the hairline. And I looked at the hairline and I saw that one part, like right about here, that was exactly the same. I said, you can't fake that. I said, there's nobody with a mask or any that could fake that because the hair still has to look real. And you could tell when, kind of when that isn't. And that's what I said. No, it's him. I said, it's weird. He's acting weird, but Jim Carrey's acted weird a lot of times. But I think what you're saying, Jack, it's kind of the boy who cried conspiracy.
Exactly.
So,
that's exactly what it is. And I'm tired of it because it's going to make us look bad. It's going to make us look like we think everything is a fucking conspiracy. Tell me, Jay, what would be the point of this conspiracy? Forget the Illuminati symbol on a freaking late night talk show. You're telling me that's all it takes to replace you? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, and if that's the case, then we had a lot more problems than we thought we had anyway. But I think the point was just the point of having another conspiracy, like you said. It's when you have something that's actually real, and in this show we delve into a lot of secrets and we delve into a lot of stuff. You're saying so many coincidences leads to a conspiracy theory. You don't want it to be where people just throw that out, and toss it to the side just because of nonsense like this. So sometimes things just are what they are. It's Jim Carrey who had some bad Botox.
It's just bad Botox. That's all it is. Bad Botox. That's it.
That's it.
That is it. And like we said, it makes it like Deborah said, it's all a distraction. It is all a distraction. It's not a purposeful distraction, I don't think, but it is a distraction nonetheless. And it's something we don't need to worry about. Why was this? Let's say it was somebody. Who gives a fuck? What is Jim Carrey? Is he going to learn the security clearance codes for Donald Trump's nuclear missiles? Who cares? What purpose would it serve, Jay?
Again, a distraction. I think Deborah's right. And sometimes I think it's kind of a mindless distraction, Jack, where I think
mindless is exactly what it is. Mindless.
And they're craving that a little bit right now with everything else going on that isn't mindless, that is very serious. So I think when something like this comes up, people, if they have any reason whatsoever to kind of grab onto it, they're kind of dying for it because, like, oh my God, Jim Carrey, this is funny. This is fun. It's not something that's going to end the world. It's not something that's going to have a direct effect on my life policy wise. So it's kind of, I think, something people kind of gravitate towards when they get a chance, especially now.
So I want to show you something, Jay. And this is something else. This is different, but I want to show you what the streets of Iran look like following an attack that was, hang on. Following an attack that was ordered. Let me show you real quick. I want you to see this. Check this out. All right. Can you see it? All right. I want you to see this right here. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. This is the streets of Iran after an attack ordered by Donald Trump. Look at this.
Wow. I tell you, I'm going to think that's not, I'm going to take a guess. You're messing with me right now. Are you not?
Am I? That is Gavin Newsom's California right there. But it's hard to tell from a war-torn Iraq and Iran, isn't it?
I said that's where you're going. I said he's messing with me right now. I said because that looks like California.
That's exactly what it is. That was Gavin Newsom's California, ladies and gentlemen. Looks just like a war-torn Iran, doesn't it? Incredible.
Maybe a little worse, Jack. Maybe a little worse.
It may very well. So you know how excuse me, Abbott is running against Doc Chambers right now, and we want Doc Chambers to win because Abbott is he's just a mouthpiece for the swamp now. You know, that's all he's become. I mean, he's let Islam take over Texas. So get this: a week before the primary election, basically it's basically the election. Whoever wins between Chambers and Abbott will win the governorship. So basically, a week before the election, Doc Peters' aide is murdered. Murdered. A week before the election, Jay.
Really?
Take a look at this. His aide was murdered just 1 week before the election. I don't know if that's some kind of message. I don't know what the hell that is, Jay.
I don't either. Maybe we got to wait and find out a little more, but the timing is always timing like this. Again, this is why you don't want conspiracies just to be thrown out, whole cloth just because somebody wants Jim Carrey not to be Jim Carrey.
Exactly.
This is the kind of stuff that you want to kind of think about and you say, we need a little more information on this one because the timing is always suspect, for lack of a better word, when it comes to something like this, where it's a week before an election and we have somebody very close to a contender getting murdered.
A week before the election and his aide is killed. That is very suspect. That is very suspect. So I'll tell you something else that's suspect. Check this out. This is immediately after we announced the death of the supreme leader of Iran. Guess what? Immediately after the strike and the death, the left already has handmade U.S. hands off Iran signs already. They were apparently pre-made for this strike.
Of course they were. This is all being funded by NGOs. All of it. There's nothing organic about this. This is as astroturf as it gets. These are people that are told to show up. They're probably paid, a lot of them, to show up, and they're given signs that are paid. Those signs aren't cheap to be made. They're not.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Insurrection Barbie for reposting this. It's helping us get a lot more viewers. So I just want to thank you for that. That's why the viewership is up so much on X right at this moment. So it really helps on X. So thank you for that. And everybody else that reposted. I mean, it helps a ton to repost our show. I mean, it really does. It helps us a lot to get the word out. And quite honestly, if you want the God's honest truth, we don't make any money from this. We don't have any ads. We pay for the software and stuff ourselves. We do not make a single cent from this. And there's nobody in the world that can prove otherwise. Because if we did, I'd be living in the lap of luxury right now. But so I want to thank everybody that helps us get the word out. That's the only reason we do this, because we love America and we just want everybody to know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're doing it. We enjoy it. It's fun to do it. And listen, we like talking about this stuff. We're like junkies. We're political junkies. We're like, culture and everything. We like talking about this stuff, and to do it and actually have people listen to us and enjoy it. Hey, man, it's great. If we ever make money at it, that'll just be gravy, to be quite honest with you. And it's funny you mentioned that Barbie reposted this, because she'll tell you about the NGOs that funded that protest that we were just watching. She's all over that stuff. So just so you know.
No, I absolutely believe it. There are so many of them seemingly everywhere. I mean, millions of NGOs that suck up all of our tax dollars. It's insane. Okay, so did you see where the Iranian TV networks were hacked and Donald Trump's message played on their televisions? Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I did not see it.
Check this out. Yeah, check this out. Their TV stations were hacked, okay? And let me play this right. Let me show this up right here. All right, so their TV stations were hacked, and look at this. See the Iranian words under the bottom, speaking in English, doing the speech that he did when we first attacked Iran. And he's telling all of the Iranian people to be free. This is your time to rise up. This is your chance. And that's the message right there. And it was hacked, and it was played live during the speech, Jay, all over Iran. How crazy is that? That's awesome, I think.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, you know that the supreme leader, while he was still on the planet, didn't like that at all. That happened, but that is amazing. Whoever did that, that's incredible. Good for you, man. Wow.
You got to have some real skills to be able to do some shit like that.
And balls.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, because if they find you, especially with the government not being toppled yet, if they find you, you're going to have some serious problems.
Yeah, and your entire family and everybody that probably knows you too. So yeah, that takes some guts.
So, Jay, do you know who Mitch Weber is?
No.
I'm curious to know. I think because get this, Mitch Weber has an email at Harvard Law. So I'm guessing he's some kind of professor of law at Harvard Law. Because Jeffrey Epstein, take a look at this, Jay. Jeffrey Epstein sent him an email that said, let's also look at sex tourism laws, going someplace with the specific intent to have underage sex. Okay. And then he says, Mr. Epstein, I'm sorry, I was a little confused about what you were asking on the phone. I see what you were asking now. The question is, what would happen if one were to transport a minor or transport oneself for sex, yada, yada, yada. And he said, and your intuition was right. The answer is there is no violation of the law. That is insane.
Tell me you're guilty of trafficking without telling me. I mean, really?
That is crazy. Apparently, that's now, obviously, I can't verify that this email is 100% real. I don't have access to his account, but that's what is being shown on X from the Epstein files. That is what is being shown, that he asked about sex tourism, which there are such things as sex tourism. You book a tour to a country, and it's to a brothel in that country, and people have sex with you for money. It's international prostitution is what it is.
Yeah, but when you start asking about kids, that totally changes the game.
He said specific intent to have sex with somebody underage.
Yeah, I mean, again, right? Tell me you're guilty of it without telling me. Give me a break. Is there any way to verify that one, Jack? That email? Because that's insane. How has nobody picked up on that one yet?
It says right here. Okay, so I'm a part of community notes, so I can see things that other people can't on X. Mm-hmm. And it says context. It says Weber was a legal assistant for one of Epstein's lawyers. Weber was relaying information between Epstein and his lawyers to look into possible legal defenses against allegations of an underage girl. That's what it was doing. So all that shit was real. Is real.
A real email. So they're trying to find out. Can he get in? Could there be more charges for this? Possibly.
Could he get in trouble for his sex tourism if he wants to go have some sex tourism? Could he get in trouble? That's basically what he wanted to know.
Basically, what he wanted to know, right there. What else do you need to know about this guy? Jeez,
I'll tell you something else about him. Guess what?
Go ahead.
There is a rumor. There's rumors that there are dead bodies at the New Mexico ranch now. Apparently, the Zorro Ranch has dead bodies. There's a New Mexico ranch investigation has been reopened following a tip of dead bodies. If you can believe that, that is crazy. It says state officials have renewed interest in the ranch, which is rumored to have dead bodies buried on site. It says Epstein purchased the sprawling 30,000 square foot estate known as the Zorro Ranch in 1993 from New Mexico Governor Bruce King. How in the hell did a New Mexico governor get a Zorro? I don't even want to talk about it. Epstein was reportedly drawn to the land of enchantment, yada, yada, yada. And he said he was drawn to this as the state, it's called, due to its obscurity and the lenient sex offender registry laws. That's why he bought that place in New Mexico.
Well,
there are tips of dead bodies there, Jay.
Yeah, where are those emails, Jack? I'm sure those might turn up, asking about the laws in New Mexico, asking somebody, hey, what's the laws in New Mexico when it comes to this stuff? I bet you maybe those will turn up at some point. And that Zorro Ranch, bring the bulldozers, bring the backhoes, let's start digging. Bring the dogs, bring whatever you got to do, and let's start digging at the Zorro Ranch because you never know.
How crazy is this? I mean, it seems like there's always something. There's always more to the story, Jay. Now there's possible dead bodies on this. They reopened the investigation because there's possible dead bodies from Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch. How crazy is that? And we got something else for you guys. Remember when Hillary Clinton said that she did not know Epstein? She had never met Epstein. She has no recollection of ever touching Epstein or any of that BS.
Yep.
Well, guess what? We got something for you. A photo that is 100% real. You're welcome to screenshot it and look it up. But I want you guys to check this out. This is from Stock Mom on X. Take a look at this. All right. This is an actual photo right there. That's a real photo. That is, and get this. That is a Hillary Clinton pulling on his tie like he's being hung. How crazy and sadistic is that?
I guess that's what she had in mind in the cell, but it wasn't really him.
That is Hillary Clinton pulling on a tie around Jeffrey Epstein's neck like he's being hung.
But she says she never met him. To me, Jack, if I took a photo like that with somebody who's obviously a famous person, I would kind to remember that, wouldn't you? And that's not a very young, that looks like a late 90s, early 2000s photo.
I want to say, though, Jay, as far as AIs go, they're a little finicky. When I put this into AI, it said it was real. But, I just want to say, if anybody else wants to check it out, let me know, because AI said this was real. So check it out for me. Take a screenshot, put it in AI, and let me know. I'd love to know what it says, because Grok told me this photo, analyzed this photo top to bottom, said it was real. But now that I look at it and I see Hillary Clinton pulling on Jeffrey Epstein's neck like he's hanging her, that's too coincidental to be a real photograph.
Well,
I'm sorry.
If Grok says it's real, I mean, and how many times did you ask?
Just once. I just asked one time. Said it's real.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do this live, man. We are going to do this live on the air because I want to see if it's real. I don't want, it's too coincidental to me to be real. I'm sorry. That's craziness right there.
Well, do you have the first answer in your system?
No. Is this photo authentic? I just want to know if it's an authentic photograph. That's it.
Okay.
We're unable to process you got to be shitting me.
Grok's broken.
Let's try this again. Is this an authentic photo? Authentic. Oh, okay. I'm like, why the hell is that spelled wrong? Authentic.
Grok's broken. It's broken.
Is this an authentic photo?
Still searching.
No, see there? That's why it's good to double check. And that right there, Jay, is why I wanted to do this live. When I saw that photo, the first time I put it in to AI, it said it was real. But when I saw it, and it's got her pulling on his neck like a noose, there is no way that could have been real. It's too coincidental. It's just way too coincidental.
What does it say? What does it say about it? It says AI?
It says it's a manipulated or AI-generated image that is circulated widely as misinformation, particularly around early 2026, amid discussions of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents and depositions. Multiple fact-checking sources have addressed this exact image, showing Hillary Clinton appearing to pull or adjust the tie scarf around Epstein's neck when Bill Clinton laughs, and determined it to be fake. It originated around February 2026, often traced to social media posts falsely claiming it came from official Epstein file release. It's a fake photograph, but
all right,
it underscores how committed, I will say, that Secret America is to the truth. See, I could have just put that photo up and just said it was real and moved on. We could have played that photo as real and just moved on. But instead, we made sure for you guys live that photo was real or not. We wanted to make sure, because we don't want false information out there.
I think Grok updated itself, because I happen to know who posted that as very well. And that Grok told the same thing, that photo was authentic. And now it's changing its tune to say it's not.
Yeah, that's why I said AI is finicky. But I mean, if you look at the photograph, how could that be real? I mean, that is just too coincidental, man. It's too coincidental.
Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. So you got to make sure.
I just can't see her pulling on a noose with a picture of them laughing, and then 20 years later, her hanging him with a noose. I just don't see it.
Listen, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, I'll believe anything.
Yeah, but see, anyways, that's why I just wanted to let everybody know, that's why, you can tell that we are committed to truth. We don't put up any fake shit. Now, is that fake or real? I've had 2 different answers from AI. So you guys go ahead and check it yourself. But I've had 2 different answers. So that's why I'm going to say at this point, I'm going to say it's fake. I don't know 100% sure, because like I said, I've had 2 different answers. But I don't want to portray something as real if I can't verify it 100%.
Well, I think we clarified that also in the beginning of the show with Jim Carrey. We could have very easily run with that too and said, "Oh,
Oh
this,
yeah.
no." But we don't do that here. We make sure we double check. We, and with this one, obviously, you can make up your own mind because before AI said it was real, now it says it's not real. Okay, let's go. Move on.
All right. So there's just
Well,
so
hold on. Hickser is saying that photo was from years ago. I seen that before Grok and all this AI crap.
I don't think so. I don't think that. I mean, honestly, that's just not. It's too coincidental for me. I'm sorry. It's just too coincidental. There's
All right.
just no way that had to have been an AI generated image for some kind of like Babylon Bee thing or something.
We'll leave it up to your own interpretation, everybody. Do your own research on that one. Figure it out. Because as we
Yep.
said, we're getting conflicting answers from the AIs.
So, Jay, how would you like to know how many people, how many celebrities now, the leftists, the liberals that are moving from New York and bringing their politics down to Florida? They're doing it now. Check it out. We have Mark Zuckerberg buying a $200 million mansion in Miami. He left from California, excuse me, not New York, but he left from California to Miami. And now, for everybody out there, he's the person that got Biden elected. So this man that has all this money is a staunch liberal, is now bringing his leftist views to Florida. They are trying to conquer Florida the same way they will eventually conquer Texas.
Do you think this Mark Zuckerberg, he's not a stupid person, obviously, right? We know he's not dumb.
Nope.
But do we think that he's this stupid that he knows how he was getting killed in California, probably with taxes and everything else, that he moves to Florida and buys this? I mean, the house looks absolutely incredible, right? Buys this house, obviously, $200 million. Is he going to still vote the same way? Really?
Can I tell you? I'm going to tell you right now. Liberals, hang on. The reason that liberals do that, the reason that they vote the same way, no matter how tragic or how discouraging the results are, they vote the same way because they always believe this time it'll be different. They always believe I can fix it.
No.
This time I get to start over. This time it'll be different. This time it'll work. It didn't work last time because Gavin Newsom didn't know what he was doing. It didn't work last time because Hochul didn't know what she was doing. It didn't work because Tim Walz didn't know what he was doing. There's always an excuse, and they always think this time it'll be different.
Yeah, somebody's going to run for governor. Mm-hmm. And right, they're going to feed them all the lines. They're going to get the tickle down their legs. Say, yes, this time he'll make it work. She'll make it work. She'll make it that even though it sounds like my taxes are going to go up, oh, it won't really. And it's for the greater good. And it's amazing. It never works that way ever. Like you just said, you guys just keep doing, like I said, Mark Zuckerberg, obviously a very smart person. When do you get it? When does it actually sink in that communism and all this stuff the Democrats are pushing, socialism, it doesn't work. And you run, and what did Margaret Thatcher say? Socialism is great until you run out of everybody else's money. And you're always going to run out of everybody else's money.
That's right. Socialism is great until you run out of other people's money. That is right. But yeah, that's the way it is. And that will happen. They will do that. And right now, Florida is voting to remove property taxes. But let me tell you, if you guys allow Mark Zuckerberg in there, he's like a virus. Okay. Right now, it's just this small little virus, but it will replicate. It will spread. And eventually it will get the entire state, because he's got the money to do it, and so do his friends. They will get the state. And then when the property taxes are bye-bye, when he gets somebody in, it's going to be, oh, we're just going to put the property taxes up to 10%. Just to make sure that we can pay for this, this, and this. Programs that are social programs that never work and are always stolen from, but yet they're going to do it anyway because A, they get to steal money, and B, they get to try their ideals yet again. But then it's, oh, we're going to move the property taxes up to 15%, 20%. Before you know it, you didn't have property taxes a year ago. Now you got property taxes at 25%.
And also, you know what it also is? People like Zuckerberg, they're above any pricing system, to be honest. Yes, it'll cost them more money, but he's never going to be poor. He'll always be able to afford. Right? But the people forget Zuckerberg. What about somebody like you and me who, I live in New York, right? And I went to Florida or, South Carolina or some other state or Texas. You out of your mind that I don't, of course, I vote conservative, I vote Republican, but I would never, if I was leaving, Why would a regular person, not some filthy rich who's not above the system, why would you go somewhere else and vote the same way that forced you to leave? That's what boggles my mind. Zuckerberg, it does boggle my mind. But all right, we can excuse it, I guess. Like we said, he's above the system. He gets the virtue signal and say, I'm saving the world. But somebody else, like regular person who just,
That makes sense. They always think it'll be different this time. Always.
Insane. It's insane. Stop it. Please stop it.
You know what else is insane? The amount of the technology that's going on today, Jay. Get this. Okay, so data centers are where you can hide things like Jeffrey Epstein could hide videos, that kind of thing. But there's only a finite amount of space on Earth that you can put data centers, and they cost a lot of money to run for electricity. What, Jay, if you could put them in the ocean and hide your shit in the ocean where nobody will ever find it, in the deepest, darkest waters of the ocean? Check this out. I want you to see this. This is Microsoft right here. And we're going to take a little look-see at this because this is impressive.
Why did Microsoft sink its data centers underwater? Servers generate a lot of heat and need proper cooling to avoid failures or crashes. Traditional data centers consume huge amounts of energy for cooling, but seawater provides a natural, cost-free cooling solution. Microsoft saw this as an opportunity to save energy. In 2018, Microsoft...
All right, we don't need to hear the whole Microsoft saves energy spiel. I just wanted to show everybody that now you can hide your dirty laundry in the ocean.
I'm going to name that data center Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
You can do it. You can name it whatever you want. All
right.
But now you can hide your dirty laundry in the ocean. And who's to say that whoever has Jeffrey Epstein's videos out there doesn't have them hidden in the ocean? You ain't never going to find them. You can access them through the cloud, but they're hidden in the ocean.
Yeah,
the actual physical, copies or whatever it is.
Yeah, very interesting. And I like how they got to bring them out of the water and clean the barnacles off.
Yeah, but that tells you, man, how crazy is that? You can now put your data centers in the ocean. I find that insane because now you can hide anything, man. You can hide anything.
You hide anything, anywhere. Soon they'll be up in space, Jack. They'll be on Mars.
Yeah.
Watch.
You never know.
I'm not kidding. Think I'm kidding? They'll put it
Do you
anywhere.
remember,
just
Jay,
harder to cool them on Mars, Jack. A little harder to cool them.
do you remember, actually, it's not, because Mars is actually further away from the sun, and it's actually very cold there.
How cold is it on Mars, Jack?
Very cold. I think it's like minus some degrees on Celsius. I don't even know, but I know it's freezing on Mars.
Oh, I was thinking of Mercury. My bad.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, do you remember the black guy, West African, 27-year-old, who threw hard rock snowballs at the NYPD, hit them in the face in New York? You remember that? Did you see that?
Yes.
Well, Alvin Bragg just dropped the charges. He dropped the charges. The same guy that went after Donald Trump just dropped the charges against this man. And this guy was arrested for robbery 3 weeks ago. Then he packs these hard snowballs, which, mind you, are just as strong as rocks when the ice is packed hard as a rock. It's just as hard as stones, throwing them at NYPD officers. DA Alvin Bragg has just dropped the charges here. He is free to go, even though he was arrested for robbery 3 weeks ago and committed another violent crime now.
Yeah, well, that's not a surprise for Alvin Bragg. And, of course, not a surprise with Mayor Mamdani, who wanted the charges dropped because, it was just a simple snowball fight that got out of hand. I don't know about you, Jack, but I never had snowball fights with people who weren't throwing the snow back at me, especially not cops. I was never just threw snow at cops or anybody else, for that matter, that didn't want to have an actual playful snowball fight. This is why New York City and other blue cities are turning into the hellholes that they are, because it's lawless. It's just basically you're on your own. The cops can't do anything. And here's the irony. Mamdani, if somebody did the same thing to him, he would have his NYPD detail arrest whoever was doing it. But meanwhile, he won't protect his own NYPD detail from somebody doing it to them. That is what you call a dictator. That is what you call rules for thee, not for me. And that is what Democrats are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's something that's been bothering me, Jay, that I got to talk about here. It's Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick Fuentes I largely stay away from other podcasters and beefs because I don't want to start beefs or anything with other podcasters, other streamers, other media members. But Nick Fuentes went too far. He told everybody, do not vote in the midterms. If you do, vote Democrat. This administration needs to be shut down. Let me tell you real quick, Jay, that right there is dangerous because a lot of young people listen to this man. They think, oh, I'm going to stick it to the administration by voting Democrat. Well, let me tell you, if you vote Democrat, you think this administration is bad? That's what you think? Imagine when the Democrats get into power. You are going to be targeted. You're going to be the one that's targeted, and you voted for them. You will be targeted, and the whole country will crash. This was the dumbest fucking thing he's ever said, Jay. You don't just vote for the other side because you're unhappy with this side. I mean, sure, there's got to be remedies, but you don't just crash it and give the baton to the other people. You don't give them the crown and say, hey, do what the hell you want with this because I'm not getting every single thing I want from this guy. Let me tell you, just by getting elected, Donald Trump saved America. Okay? Now you're trying to give America back to the demons, back to the Satanists, back to the pedophiles. That's what you want. Okay? That's what you're telling these young people to do. Vote Democrat so that way the Democrats, the pedophiles, run the country again. We saw that in 2020 to 2024. We saw all the illegals that were coming over, all the free shit they were giving away, but not to American citizens, not to veterans, but to illegals. We saw every single thing they were doing. They were attacking us. And it's like you've forgotten what happened during the 2021 conservative purge of Twitter, or during the arrests of priests that are praying at abortion clinics, or during the raids of people at 6 a.m. with 20 FBI agents for a simple misdemeanor. You have forgotten all of this, and you want to hand them back the power. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Nick Fuentes is a dumbass.
Well, yeah, Nick Fuentes, I agree. He said a lot of dumb things over the years. This one takes the cake. Okay. He sits there, this twerp, and I don't want to call him a twerp because that's what he is. This twerp sits there with an America First hat. That there it is. Thank you for bringing that up. That hat right there, America First, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he tells you, vote for Democrats. But you're sitting there with an America First hat and you're telling people to vote for Democrats? Democrats could care less about America First, second, third. America Last should be on your hat, Nick Fuentes, because that's what you just told everybody to do. You just told everybody to vote. You didn't say don't vote, which I think would be bad enough, because if you don't, you're still handing it back to the Democrats. Now you're telling people to vote for the people who are basically going to destroy any policy you've ever agreed with. And I don't agree with Nick Fuentes on a lot of things, but on immigration, isn't Nick Fuentes an immigration hawk, Jack? Am I wrong on that?
I have no. I honestly have never listened to a single thing the man said.
Rhetorical question,
okay.
Right? I mean, but all the stuff Nick Fuentes claims to be about, and a lot of it's ridiculous. But even some of the stuff that people might say, okay, I agree with that. You're throwing out the window by saying vote for Democrats. It is the most disingenuous garbage that I've ever heard from anybody. And this twerp has 10 million people watching him, however many people watching him. Okay, the people watching him, let me say this to you. The half a brain you have left, please use the half a brain you have left to understand that he's full of crap. He's a liar. He just gave it away. The mask came off of Nick Fuentes when he said, vote for Democrats. Give me a break. Shut up. Stay out of this, you twerp. You've done nothing for this country your entire life. Keep your effing mouth shut and get out of the damn way. Sorry.
I mean, no. I completely agree. How can you be America First and then tell people to vote for the very thing that would destroy America? Let me tell you, it'd be different if he said, don't vote, abstain from voting. Don't get me wrong. That would be bad, but it would not be, what do you call it? It would not be counterproductive. Okay. It would be, you wouldn't be able to get any help for voting. You wouldn't get more votes, but you're giving the Democrats extra votes by doing this. There are 10 million people that saw this video. And let me tell you, Jay, most of those 10 million don't even watch the video. All they do is see the headline. And that headline says, do not vote in the midterms. And if you do, vote Democrat. This administration needs to be shut down. Dash Nick Fuentes. Most of those 10 million, all they did was read that headline. They're kids, they have short attention spans. They're not going to watch the fucking video. They read the headline, they think, oh, Nick Fuentes wants us to vote Democrat. Why not? I'm not really that much into politics anyway. I'll do whatever the hell he says. So that could be 1, 2, 3 million extra votes for the Democrats. And that could be all it takes. You never know. Maybe those kids, maybe those grown-ups get other people to do the same thing because Nick Fuentes said so. It's irresponsible and it's dangerous, Jay.
Oh, it's beyond the pale is what it is. And let me just, I want to find something real quick here. Well, there's Nick Fuentes, but what he said, and it's all the policies that Nick Fuentes says he's against during the Biden administration. And he's telling people to vote for Democrats. What else do you need to hear from this person to let you know that he's inauthentic and he's disingenuous? All the stuff he yells about, everything, whether it's absurd or maybe some of it is grounded in logical policy, some of it, not a lot, some of it, okay, is gone if the Democrats get in. Gone. Out the window. And this guy, because he's mad about a war, not even a war, a military conflict in Iran. Okay, if you want to call it a war or you're totally against it and you hate Israel, that's fine. You could do all that. But everything else you toss out the window because of this. Now you're telling people to vote for Democrats, for communism. You're telling people to vote for communism. So maybe, you know what, Nick Fuentes, people call you a Nazi. Maybe you really are a Nazi. Maybe that is what you really want, because that's what you're voting for, you idiot, if you tell people to vote for Democrats, period.
Well, the worst part about this, though, Jay, is like I said, 10 million people saw that video. Who knows how many other people saw it on other platforms? But most of them do not watch the video. They see the headline. That's what they see.
You're
Just
right.
like in a newspaper. Most people don't read past the headline. They don't read past the headline. They see that and they think, okay, Nick Fuentes wants us to vote Democrat.
You're 100% right. You're right. And he knows it. He knows that. He totally knows that. He knows his audience. He knows it. I mean, I just couldn't get over when I heard it. I heard him talking and I heard him say, oh, that's it. Don't vote. And then he goes to vote Democrat. And then I'm like, all right, that's it. That's it. We got to say something. Something has to be said about this. This cannot stand. First of all, you're a fraud. You're a fake. You are everything you've ever said. You're full of crap because you are just told people to basically turn the country over to communists. So thank you for telling us who you really are, because you're upset that you didn't get everything you wanted out of the Donald Trump administration. What a joke. What an absolute joke. And anybody who's thinking like that, you will rue the day that you don't go out and vote in 2026 and 2028. I know it sucks to swallow hard and do it, but you have to, because the other side is just not tenable anymore. This is not a tenable platform. They will destroy the country, and they will do it in light speed. They won't play around anymore. Joe Biden's administration will seem like a picnic to whoever gets in there next. They will ruin us, and they will ruin us before you can blink.
That's exactly what they want to do, and that's why they want to be in power. And you know, when I realized that Nick Fuentes was not what I thought he was, you know, when I realized that he was, you know, the little bitch underneath, when he started using words like mog and glaze. He said, "Oh, I'm mogging, I'm glazing." I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is a mog? Oh, I'm mogging. Look at me, I'm mogging. What? And he's like, oh, a lookism. He's hanging out with clavicular too damn much. The dude's got potatoes for brains. He's talking about glazing. He said he glazes clavicular, which apparently means he looks at him sexually because he's handsome. And he said that. He said, I'm glazing clavicular. They said it was homosexual. Let me tell you, it is homosexual.
Yeah, congratulations, Nick Fuentes. You just turned into the Krasensteins and the Destinies and every other total lunatic.
Krasenstein's is perfect, man. Perfect comparison, because he's gone insane and he's using gay words.
Listen, U.S. citizen, I'm reading the comment. The military action has divided voters, even among who voted for Trump. I get it. You could be upset about that. I get that.
You still have to vote, though. You have to vote. Look, okay, Jay, I understand people are upset. People are divided, but you got to look at it like this. What is the fucking alternative? It's either going to be Trump or it's either going to be J.D. Vance. It's either going to be the Republicans. Would you rather have the Republicans do nothing for the next 2 years, or the Democrats systematically destroy America, remove your president, and do everything they can the opposite of what you want? Okay,
Exactly.
Those are your choices. Either the Republicans do nothing or the Democrats destroy your life. Which one do you want?
Exactly. As I said, please understand this. The Democrat Party is not an American party anymore. It's just not. This is a communist platform. It is being run by AOC. It is being run by Rashida Tlaib. It is being run by Ilhan Omar. It is being run by Ayanna Pressley. Go down the line. These people run the party. I don't care that they're not the quote-unquote face of the party. They are running policy. They have people like Chuck Schumer and they have people like Nancy Pelosi that let them in so they could stay in power. And now what always happens to the useful idiots? They go first. Chuck Schumer is going to get primaried by AOC, and he is going to get destroyed in that primary. Good job, Chuck. Congratulations. I never liked you, but I didn't think you were this dumb, but you are. And people like Nick Fuentes, okay, are that dumb as well. They are that dumb. So all the Republicans, if this was your first time voting for President Trump, or if you're not a Republican, if you're an independent who said, I like a lot of the stuff he was talking about, you're not getting everything you want. That's fine. You never will.
That'll never happen.
It's impossible, especially in politics. And I got news for you. Somebody who tries to please everybody ends up pleasing nobody. He's his own man. He's going to do what he has to do. He's getting information when it comes to this stuff in Iran that nobody else has. Can we give it a breath? You voted for him. Can you trust the man? Trust him for a little while. If things start to go real south, Jack, we'll talk about it. We'll call it out.
Of course. Just like his, I will say real quick, we've got something big that we wanted to share with you, the civilian thing that I was talking about. But first, I do want to say he did make a dumb statement today and say that he's not ruling out U.S. troops in Iran. Let's not turn this into another fucking Iraq war, Jay. Let's not do that.
No, Jack, I agree with you. I think he has to say it, because if it does happen, say there are quote unquote boots on the ground. Here's the thing. We have boots on the ground.
What's the need? We have drones. We have everything that is remote. There is no need for boots on the ground there. None.
No. What I'm saying, and I agree with you. I don't want our boots going, toe to toe with Iranian soldiers. I don't want that. But my point is, we have boots on the ground. We have military all over that region. That's always been there. It's been there for decades. So we have people we need to protect there. Now, do we want them going out, like I said, and getting into conventional war? No. I want us to use the technology, like Jack just said, the amazing drones we have, the amazing air power that we have. Our Air Force, you see the planes that we have now.
Yeah, but saying boots on the ground, Jay, saying he's not ruling out boots on the ground, that sounds exactly like George Bush.
Let's hope it doesn't happen. If it does, we will call it out. We will call it out.
That's the one thing I want everybody watching this to know, is that we will call out things, even if it's from Trump. We're Trump supporters. We are on the right. We lean right heavily. We are Trump supporters, but we call out everything that we see, regardless of who it's from. And that's why I say I do not like the not ruling out the troops, boots on the ground thing of troops. That really perturbed me. And if I see this thing turn into another Iraq war, I will rail against it like it's the fucking Vietnam War. And I'm a Vietnam veteran coming back to protest in the 70s.
Yeah, listen, we obviously will rail against it. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I'm a ride or die guy with Trump. I'm a ride or die. I voted for the man 3 times.
I am not.
I'm not going to abandon him. But if this turns into something that is prolonged and we get into a rack situation, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but we're just putting it out there, I will have a huge problem with it. Again, I'm not the one with the intel. None of us are. But We don't want that. That is something we did not vote for. Now,
no, we don't need to destroy the country and then have Halliburton go back in and rebuild it. We don't need that shit.
No, we are not nation building here. Absolutely correct. We are not nation building here. Now, regime change, that's up to the Iranian people now. Hey, we are putting in the, we're making it possible.
Yeah, so, we did what we were supposed to do, Jay. We killed the guy. Now let them have their country and do whatever the hell they want with it.
I agree. I agree. And I think I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if it does turn into something that we don't like, we will talk about it and we will call it out. And as I said, I am a President Trump guy from the minute he came down that escalator, and I'm a ride or die. I don't abandon people like that because of a couple of things I don't like. This would be a big one.
Look at this, Jay. Look at this. I won't
abandon though. Go ahead.
Deborah said I would look as stupid as them if I protest the Iran war if boots are on the ground. So if I rail against getting into another endless war and Trump says, hey, you know, I never start wars, there's no war. If we get boots on the ground, if they start sending troops to the fucking region, to Iran, you're telling me I would look stupid protesting that. I would look stupid railing against that. That is coming from someone that is 100% Trump all the way. You have to see things from both sides. You have to see everything. We don't want another fucking endless war. If there is boots on the ground, I will talk about it. I will protest it. And it's not, I'm going to have a problem with it. I'm sorry. Did the people in Vietnam protesters look stupid? Hell no. Vietnam was a shitty war we should have never been in. We lost that fucking war. They didn't look stupid at all.
No, I think the way the people treated our veterans when they got
the way they treated them is one thing. I'm talking about the protesting. Now, the way they treated the veterans was horrible because the veterans had no choice. That's a difference. When you're drafted and you have no choice but to go there, that is a huge difference than if you voluntarily go to fight a war that we never should have been in the first place and a war that we fucking lost.
Oh, well, listen, even the soldiers that we have now, they volunteered to join the military, but they've got to follow orders. If they're ordered to go boots on the ground, they go. It's not their fault either. My point is...
Well, no, we don't protest the soldiers.
No.
We protest the people making the decisions to send our people to war in Iran when war is not necessary. First of all, they had no nuclear capabilities. Okay, they had none. We destroyed that, apparently. It's still up on the White House website. We destroyed their nuclear capabilities, okay? So what was this about? What was this about? Well, and we killed the Iranian supreme leader, right? So there's no need for us to have boots on the ground. He said, all right, we're going to give it to the Iranian people. Let them have it. They can do what the fuck they want with it. That's fine. Let them have it. It's their country. There is no need for boots on the ground because I can tell you a 2-week boots on the ground mission turns into a 4-week boots on the ground mission, turns into a 12-month boots on the ground mission, turns into a 10-year-long war, Jay.
Listen, again, Jack, I don't want to see any of that. They were rebuilding, apparently, their nuclear weapon program in other areas than the ones that were completely destroyed. That's what they are saying. That's the intel that we got. A ballistic missile program was rapidly expanding. Here's the thing. This action that we've taken, I think, was necessary at this point. 47 years.
But it's the only action that we need. That's only necessary action.
I want this to be taken care of. I agree with you. I want this to be a few weeks, and I want it to be done. I totally agree with you.
She said that she was talking about, she said, do not like the Fondas of the world, though. She said that's what she's speaking of. And nobody likes Jane Fonda. See, the thing is with Jane Fonda, she was over there protesting as part of them. She was with the enemy. Right. That's a difference than they called her Hanoi Jane for a reason. She was there with the enemy. That is a huge difference. I'm just talking about protesting a certain action. If there's boots on the ground, that would piss me off. It doesn't mean I'm going to throw my support from Donald Trump, but you got to call out your leaders regardless of if you love them or not. Nobody's perfect, but I got to call it out.
That's the thing, right? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're just talking about with Fuentes or, or anybody else. What we're talking about is you could be upset with certain things, and this would upset a lot of people, including myself. And I said, I'm a ride or die, and I am. But yeah, it would upset me, but I'm not going to abandon everything and turn it over to the Democrats because this pissed me off. No, what I would do is I would say, no, we got to figure out a better strategy so this doesn't happen again. So that this time it's taken care of once and for all. That's how you handle this stuff responsibly. That's the way you do it.
Okay.
Go ahead. One more thing. citizen. If this was 47 years in the making, then why not in Trump's first term?
We got a couple minutes left. I want to pull up that tweet real quick.
We could talk about this on the next show because it's tomorrow. So we can pick up.
That's the best part. We got a daily show now. I love it.
Yeah, we can talk about it tomorrow. We don't have a little bit of time left, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So everybody, I know it's not going anywhere, unfortunately, anytime soon.
All right, so check this out, Jay. This tweet right here. This is a tweet from an Israeli civilian. Okay, look at the date: 3:59 p.m. at 2:27. That was Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time on a Friday, and that shows Eastern time because that's my time. So it was Friday evening when he did this. Okay, he said American attack in Tehran Saturday 8:05. This is a civilian. He gave you who was going to attack. He gave you the city they were going to attack, and he gave you the time they were going to attack. So take a look at this. This is it. The U.S. strike on Iran. Where was it? Primarily in Tehran. What time? 8:15 a.m. Israel time. Tell me, Jay. How did he know the exact person, the exact city, the exact time?
What's the time difference between us and Eastern time and Israeli time?
I have no idea, but I can tell you it's not 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, how did that's crazy.
Let me look and see what time is it in Israel. What time is
right now? So it's 8:00 Eastern time basically now here. So what time?
Okay, it's 2:56 a.m., 7:56 a.m. here. That's 6 hour difference. So it was 10 p.m. there, 10 p.m. in Israel when the and then 10 hours later, the U.S. struck Iran in Tehran at 8:15 a.m. And this man said, American attack in Tehran Saturday 8:05 a.m.
So he was 10 hours. He called it 10 hours before it happened. Is that what we're saying here? Okay.
He called who? He called what city? And he called what time right before it happened. 10 hours before the strike occurred. Now, how the hell could this be possible? How could someone, an Israeli civilian, know this information about America's attack plans?
I know who this is.
Who is it?
This is NFL is rigged.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He found them. It's NFL is rigged.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Now he predicts wars instead of NFL games.
Well, I can tell you, he's dead on. This is incredible, isn't it? I mean, look at this guy. He has the like I said, he knows he's in Israel. This is translated from Hebrew. He's in Israel, and he knows the American attack plan. He knows the city that it's going to happen. He knows the day that it's going to happen, and he knows the time that it's going to happen. Because this happened, the U.S. strike on Iran the very next day in Tehran, 8:15 a.m. Israel time. That is incredible, Jay.
Guy made a good call. I don't know where he got it from, but that's a hell of a guess. If he was just guessing, I'll put it that way.
I don't see how that's even. I don't even see how that's possible to guess. How could you know the city and the time and the day, the time and the day?
He got somebody in his ear. Somebody did him something. Who knows?
That's unbelievable. That's incredible. An Israeli civilian, the exact time, exact day, and he knew who and he knew where.
Yeah.
It's like he was in the situation room. You know?
He hacked it.
Yeah. Well, hell, I mean, you never know. If they can hack Iranian television from the U.S., maybe he hacked the situation. I don't know. But this man knew America's attack plans before America did.
Before we did. Yeah. Before our civilian population did, obviously. Right. And there were people telling me that they thought this weekend, but nobody was giving me cities and times. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, cities and exact times. It is Tehran. It was U.S. strike against Iran in Tehran on Saturday at 8:05 a.m. Israeli time. It just doesn't get any more precise than that. He gave a precise time, not like he said around 8 a.m. or between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. He gave a precise time, and that is the time we attacked.
I wonder if we'll ever see that account again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it, though, and we'll see what happens. But that is some crazy shit right there. When you see somebody that does that, I mean, it's and I can tell you it's not a mass post situation either. I mean, it is incredible how he was able to do that with the time, day, who, and the what city. it just doesn't seem feasible for someone guessing to be able to guess that.
No, and like I said, it's not a mass text thing like they accused NFL of is rigged of the same thing, right? Same thing they accused him of.
Yeah, there's obviously leaks everywhere. Like Raina said. Raina says right here, there is obviously leaks everywhere. There has to be. Yeah. There has to be leaks everywhere because there is no way in hell you might be able to get the who, like the U.S. attacking Iran, obviously. You might even be able to get the day, but you're not going to be able to get the city and the exact time together. It's not going to happen.
No, that's a hell of a guess. It's impossible. It's very unlikely, highly unlikely. All right, we got like 15 seconds left, Jack. Do you want to just give everybody one more time where they can find us?
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you guys follow us. Follow us on X, Rumble, YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Kick, Instagram, TikTok. All of our social medias are Secret America TV. Every single one of them. Secret America TV on every social media site. Watch us live every single weekday. Okay, so make sure you guys do that. And I think we've solved all the problems we can for one day, Jay. So for Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.